Hey there, creepy peeps. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome back. If you're returning, hey, what's up? It's time for another Come With Me review for 3 from Hell. I'm so prepared to go to the movies. I have my House of a Thousand Corpses shirt on from Fright Rags. Yeah, 3 from Hell. I mean, if you've been on this channel for a day, a week, a month, a year, you probably already know that I am quite the fan of Rob Zombie's movies. Sometimes to a fault because I get hate sometimes for liking his movies, but I don't care. He's an acquired taste. He has a certain aesthetic that he always shoots for, and you either like it or you don't. I'm excited for it. It's not the preferred way that I like to go into movies because I feel like you set yourself up for disappointment sometimes, but yeah, and this one is a sequel. I feel like I would feel a little bit safer if it was a standalone movie because then it's just like I'd just be more confident that I'm gonna like it. But I'm not so much a fan of Halloween 2 from Rob Zombie, and that's the only other sequel that he's made that I have to go off of. So besides The Devil's Rejects, and so I'm at 50% here. I didn't like Halloween 2, but I love The Devil's Rejects. So there's a 50-50 chance of me liking 3 from Hell, basically. Haven't, unfortunately, been able to avoid people talking about this movie on the internet. Obviously, I've scrolled past as quickly as I can, but that has, like, it's not really saved me from seeing little blurbs here and there, both on like Twitter and Facebook and in my own Skype patron chat. They were talking about it because a couple of them went to go see it on Monday. It's Tuesday night as I'm filming this, just for reference. So, and I see that all I can glean so far is that it's an extremely mixed bag, but that's not really surprising for a Rob Zombie movie. I feel like it's always a mixed bag. You either like his style or you don't. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to react to this movie. So this is going to be interesting. I don't know how I'm going to feel about this. I have seen a couple headlines, some very sad headlines about Sid Haig. I see a couple of them. I've seen a couple of them floating around on the internet, like Rob Zombie explains why Sid Haig is not in 3 from Hell as much. We'll see. It's like I'm excited and I'm also super nervous because I don't want to hate it. I don't want to hate it. I want to love it so much. I love House of a Thousand Corpses. I love The Devil's Rejects. They're 2 of my favorite movies ever. Ever. So I'm really scared. At the very least, it should be interesting. Like I said, it's Tuesday night as I'm filming this, so the extra that we get on Tuesday nights is a behind the scenes featurette, either at the beginning or the end of the movie, I'm not sure. So that should be fun. I remember that being at the end of, or there was like a mini version of that at the end of 31, if I remember correctly. But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna go do. I'm nervous. So let's go to the movies. Let's see this super duper quick while you guys are waiting for me to get out of the movie theater. Quick summary of 3 from Hell. Obviously this is written and directed by Rob Zombie, and it follows crazed killers Baby Firefly, Captain Spaulding, and Otis Driftwood as they unleash bloody mayhem after escaping from prison. Really quick too, I don't think I ever gave her a shout out and I feel really bad about this. Brittany recently joined, kind of recently now, I'm just very behind, joined my Patreon page, and I'm pretty sure I forgot to give you a shout out. So and if I didn't forget, then what's one more shout out? You know, it's not gonna hurt anybody. So thank you for joining my Patreon page, Brittany. The link is always in the description if you want to check out any perks that you could get for supporting the channel. Okay, anyways, on to the video. Just got out of Rob Zombie's 3 from Hell. All right, so spoiler-free thoughts. I don't know. I'm conflicted. Let me just try and explain this the best I can. I'm conflicted is probably the best way to describe it, but to go into detail, it's like I didn't not like it, but I did kind of like it. I don't know. Here's my thing. So I was going into the movie and I'm expecting a Rob Zombie movie. You know, he has all of his movies have something very distinct about them that makes it a Rob Zombie movie. I'm not saying this didn't feel like a Rob Zombie movie. What I'm saying is he takes the characters in really kind of a different direction. So that's where I'm conflicted, because I'm like, they're not the characters I'm used to, but at the same time, this is taking place, I think in the movie world, this is taking place like 15 years after The Devil's Rejects. I think, and we all knew from like the promotional stills and stuff that they got caught because the promotional stills were their mug shots, were the Rejects mug shots. So it makes sense. So that's what I'm trying to explain. Like, it makes sense, but I'm like conflicted about whether I ultimately liked it or not. It was just different. But then it also still kind of makes sense, because if you look at House of a Thousand Corpses compared to The Devil's Rejects, they look like, the only thing that like really connects those movies are the characters. A lot about just those two movies that don't match up. So in that sense, he is kind of staying consistent by this just not being another Devil's Rejects movie. If you know what I mean. Like, it obviously is a Devil's Rejects movie because it has the same characters, but it's not just the same shit in The Devil's Rejects, because what would be the point of making that? Because you could just watch The Devil's Rejects if you wanted to see that. So I respect that. I respect that he did something different, and I'll be very interested to see how people feel about this one, like compared to like whether they normally like Rob Zombie's movies or not, because I feel like he went really different from what he normally does in like all of his movies. I don't know, I could be wrong because I'm not really a movie expert, I pose. The part where I'm really conflicted though is, I guess I just wasn't expecting the characters to have changed the way that they did. And by the characters, I'm talking about Otis and Baby, because those are the characters that we're following. I don't know that it's that big of a spoiler that Captain Spaulding is not in this movie so much. Again, I think there is a fucking spider on my windshield. It's on the outside, it's on the outside, it's on the outside, it's on the outside. Why do I feel like he's trying to get in? We're mostly with Baby and Otis in this movie, and the changes that they go through, I guess I just wasn't expecting them to change in the ways that they did some of the time. That's me being as vague as possible. I guess like you can really make any reasoning like, well, they've been in prison, it's been 15 years, whatever. And I guess, but I don't know, just some, I don't know, I feel like there were parts that were just like uber sentimental, and I don't know that it fit, or maybe I just need some time to let it grow on me, I guess, or maybe it was meant to come across as like sentimental but in a demented way because these are psychos. So yeah. Other than that, it's still got like the same nitty gritty, dirty, psychedelic kind of style that we've come to expect with Rob Zombie's movies in general, but certainly with this series now. So it's still like ultimately to its core looks and feels like a Rob Zombie movie. I thought the performances were great. I know a lot of people, every time a new Rob Zombie movie comes out, they complain about Sherry Moon Zombie being in it again. But he has so many returning actors. Like, I guess it's just because she's his wife that they have to complain about it. But always brings in so many of the same actors in a lot of his movies. I don't know why people got to complain about his wife being in it, but I think their performances are great. I have nothing wrong with seeing them again and again in his movies because I think they're great and they always get interesting characters to play, even down to like the little cameo parts. Like Dee Wallace's character, like I feel like that's something like I've never seen her play a part like that, and it was just kind of like a minor character, but I've never seen her do something like that. So I always think it's super fun to see the performances, whether they're returning actors or not. I don't give a shit. I love them all. So, but I'm biased because I love Rob Zombie's movies. I said that at the beginning of the video, so that was just to cover my ass when people start coming at me in the comments for not being educated or something. Is this my favorite Rob Zombie movie? No, that remains House of a Thousand Corpses, but definitely would not put it at the bottom. Though, if I were to redo my ranking, I don't know where I would exactly place it, but it's neither at the very top or the very bottom, so that's a thing. I think 3 out of 5. Yeah, I'm gonna go 3 out of 5. Not my favorite, not my least favorite. We're going with 3 out of 5. On IMDb, the ratings on this movie are just blowing my mind, seriously. It has a 7.2 out of 10. This is as of Tuesday night on IMDb. Sorry, I don't know if I said that. On Rotten Tomatoes, there's no audience consensus yet. It has a 14% though from critics, but it's only out of 7 reviews, so take that as you will. And I just saw in passing, I never really say this rating, but it has a 4 out of 4 on Roger Ebert, which is blowing my fucking mind. Because that website never fucking likes horror movies, so that's kind of just blowing my mind right now. On Letterboxd, it has a 3.2 out of 5, so I feel like I'm most in line with Letterboxd right now. From those of you that I follow, we got 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. So that's really not that many of you have seen it. So yeah, it's pretty low though. Like, it's erring on the low side, which is interesting. I'll be really fascinated to see once everyone watches it tonight and they rate it, and tomorrow night, and I think it's hitting video on demand and DVD like mid-October, so even more people will get to see it. This will be really interesting to see what people think about this one. I feel like I say that every time a fucking Rob Zombie movie comes out though, so yeah. So if you've seen 3 from Hell, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it, and let me know how it ranks up for you in terms of other Rob Zombie movies that you've seen, and in just this series as well, House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Rejects. Yeah, I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here. Become a creepy peep today. I post videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And ring that notification bell down there to be notified every time I post a video. Maybe it doesn't always work. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye. I don't think that was English at the end, but okay. I'm boiling. Holy fucking shit. This video is brought to you by all these lovely creepy patron peeps that you see listed on the left-hand side of the screen. If you want to find out the perks to being a creepy patron peep, you can follow that link that is in the description of this video. No pressure, but it's there if you want to check it out. Thanks for watching. Bye!